Today we have a special guest with us. It is actually an honor. He's the first guest. We want to make sure this one is a special one because if we're starting something, we better start big. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
please introduce yourself, brother.
Well, my name is Saint Laurent. I'm bon créole Saint Laurent. C'est le cap avec Moïse, like Vetier, Champagne,
That's right.
mon bagay. Yeah, ça c'est moi-même. Et puis moi-même, I'm an accountant. On dit travail dans audit and taxation, mainly on the side. I operate like a few businesses of mine. Côté moi, fill taxes pour moon, do tax planning, and then bookkeeping and everything.
That's good. That's good. What about taxation or accounting that you like so much? You feel like, you know what? I need to know more about this field.
Accounting wasn't my first choice actually. Accounting wasn't. It was never a goal of mine. I knew I was good at math, but first choice was the army. Actually, I signed up for it. I just never went. Shout out to my boy Wishnight who actually went. Appreciate your service, my guy. I got into accounting because my guidance counselor actually put me onto it. She was like, "I've seen your grade in math. I think you should go to school for finance or accounting." All right, the first year I didn't know what to do. I went to Bunker Hill for like a few semesters and everything, and then after that, I transferred to UMass Boston. From there, I kind of like I kind of stuck to it, and I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was fascinating and everything, and then I kind of took it serious. You know what I'm saying? So ever since then, it's been a blessing. I like accounting from then. So it's been like I'm glad that I chose it because it has taught me a lot of things that I probably could never imagine of knowing. You know what I'm saying? The tax code and everything on how to save people money, myself as well. How to save on taxes. So
So you mentioned you have like two businesses, and maybe you can flow more about those.
yes, I got two of them. The first one is CL and Associate Accounting. That's mainly focused on taxation and tax planning as well. And then I got Reliance Accounting, which I have with multiple partners of mine. We do bookkeeping services for people. For people who has businesses. You want to get your book in orders before you file your taxes, making sure everything is reconciled. Yeah, so we do that as well.
We're happy that you chose us to actually come on and explore the idea of business and accounting and numbers and taxations and all that good stuff. We appreciate you for that. So maybe you can tell us a bit more about why your business a great fit for somebody to be interested in.
The services that I provide, I feel like it's important, especially for us in the Haitian community. We don't really have a guidance on in terms of like finances. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things I kind of like put emphasis on. Like, I grew up in a household. I was fortunate enough that my dad and my mom was educated. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with my aunt. Who raised me. My cousin was in finance and everything. I kind of like pick a little things from there. But I thought like, with the knowledge that I have, I could pass it around, especially us Haitians around, you know what I'm saying? Helping us understand the better way of like doing things financially, you know what I'm saying? That was one of the main things that I kind of like thought that my business, would actually provide a lot of light in certain things, to make people understand, the light of accounting, finances, taxation. We don't really put much, nous pas basa valer or something like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
yeah, and then at the end of the year we got to scramble and then asking ourselves, oh, some bit tax to bagay sa, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, there's a new way, you could, educate moun yo pale ou de kek bagay if you ka kompren and di sa pi yo fe sa pi yo pa fe ki ka ede ou nan fiti. So
Okay.
it's mainly focused on the Haitian community, you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
that's what I'm mostly passionate about.
Li evident ke anpil Haitien gen kay tout ça, right? As far as tax concerned, si you gen kay, there are some write-offs you can do at the end of the year when you file your taxes.
The
Like,
first thing I would like to say is like a lot of people think like just because you have a house you can deduct the interest on the mortgage and everything, which is true. What people don't understand is like you have to know like whether you're gonna be itemizing or you're gonna or using the standard deduction. There's a threshold to it. You know what I'm saying? To itemize la limits once you meet a certain threshold, it will be more benefit for you to itemize rather than using the standard deduction, which is for Munki Sengo, it's around, I believe it's around $15,000. I don't know the number on top of my head, or 18 or something like that. And then for people who's married, it's around 25K. Right off the bat, right now, we talk about 25K as a standard deduction. So let's just say you make $100,000 in a year, and then you have a standard deduction of 25K as a married couple. You take 100 minus 25, for instance. So that reduces your taxable income to, let's just say, 100 minus 25. So that gives you around, I was
175.
75K. So yeah, you'll be taxed on 75. But let's say you single, the standard deduction is $18,000, and then you make 100,000. So you take 100 minus 18. But if you want to get to the itemization bracket, you know what I'm saying, you want to itemize instead, therefore you got to go find expenses that is worth more than $18,000, which is the standard deduction. Your expenses could mean, let's just say you have mortgage interest, which is one of them. You can deduct contribution. You know, if you're someone who donate a lot of money to churches, you could take that. And then if you're someone that has medical expenses, let's say if you're someone who doesn't have health insurance, and then you go to a hospital and then your bill is like $20,000, then you know, it will make sense for you to itemize, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, you could save money as, you know, that's just for people who's a W-2 wages people. But the best way out there, you know, for people who has housing, you know, and then you have a business, let's say if you have a business, let's just say we're using this as a business, you know what I'm saying, your podcast, and this is your business, you could actually deduct, you know what I'm saying, the space that you in, most of your expenses as a business expense, because that is a ordinary or necessary expense that you could actually deduct for your business. For people out there who's trying to save money on taxes, you know what I'm saying, if you own a business, those are the people that actually save more money on taxes rather than people who's actually like, you know, W-2 wages employees and things like that.
When you're saying the taxable income is basically the amount you make for the year
Yep.
minus the expenses you made. But if you actually own a house, you talk about the expenses you made on a house, or is it just automatic?
You can't deduct, I'm dizer que se eu acho tão caro if you just travail, let's say you hit, let's say you're a W-2 wage employee, right? You work for someone else. You can't deduct pretty much if you're not gonna itemize. You can't. It really doesn't serve you anything. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If you're not
Even
gonna.
if you like, let's say you upgrade your house or something.
Yes, certain expenses. Let's just say if you actually add like panel
Panel
solar.
solar, yeah,
Yeah, so tanto someone who mete panel solar na kayo, that's a credit you could actually qualify for. So that's a
Okay.
credit that is, I believe, it could go up to 7,500.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So say on credit que o qualify for it. But other than that, se someone que W-2 wages, if you're not itemizing, concept lá amplo, não pensei que ele eu acho que cai. You know what I'm saying? Like you could deduct the, you know, like the housing, the mortgage
The mortgage,
expense.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Unless you actually like have a business and then you want the business in the space that you live in. You know what I'm saying? You could use this thing called business use of home. You know what I'm saying? So you could actually deduct the space that you operate the business is, not the whole house. You can't do that. The other way too is if you invest in real estate. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's an actual business. You know what I'm saying? Like if you invest in real estate, let's say you buy a building, the building itself worth like $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Loaste on Kai, you know, there's land that comes into it. Land is not depreciable, you know what I'm saying? You can't depreciate land. There's no
Yeah.
depreciation for land.
Okay.
But if you buy an investment property for like, let's say $100,000, $50,000 of that is for the land, and then the other 50 is for the building. The building is worth $50,000. So you can deduct the whole 50K, but the thing is you can't deduct it in 1 year. So as a business, as an investor in real estate, you have to deduct it over a life of 39 years. So over 39 years, you get a certain amount of depreciation expense that actually, you know, helps you lower your taxable income.
What are the pros and the cons when it comes to opening a business?
It depends. What are your purpose? You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of people out there, you know, giving people information. They should open a business and go get the business funding and things like that, you know, and then you can use the money. But the thing is, right, a lot of people don't know is, yeah, you're going to go get this money from the banks and your business is not making money. Eventually, the bank is going to come knocking and they're going to want the money back. It depends on your purpose. So I would say that if you're passionate about something, if you actually have a purpose and then you want to actually explore opening a business, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? Start the business. You know, it could go your business. Obviously, when you're in business, you're in business of making money. So you're not in business of losing money. You know what I'm saying? So you want to start a business, you know, eventually, like, you know, 1, 2, 3 years down the line, you can be profitable, or, you know, 1, 2, 3 years down the line, you can sell it for more than you actually spent to actually open the business. I would advise anyone to Rather like c'est un woman it could be online businesses. One thing about online business, you don't keep anything inventory. You don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to, you know what I'm
You don't
saying?
need a storage or
You
something.
don't, yeah, you don't need a storage. You know what I'm saying? One other thing too is I want to shout out to my boy Ermi because that's my boy right there. You know, anybody want to get into the online business and everything, I know he has a good course. You know, myself, I actually invest into that. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. Let's say you wanted to optimize your income or some market you're trying to look into and trying to, expedite and making sure your future looks bright. What are some of the markets you think that would be the best fit right now?
best fit, it depends on your funding. Real estate is the first thing that comes to mind, I would say. You know, that's one of the easiest way to, you know, be financially free. But most real estate investment right now, you would probably need like 20%, you know, actually to invest in real estate because most investment property, it's not like buying a, you know, like your personal house or first time home buyer because you only need 3.5% down. Real estate, it requires like 20% pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So
And good
yeah,
credit.
and good credit too, you know. Funny that you say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like I got all these people that I know out there like that are doing these things, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
know, that are doing, you know, they're doing good work, you know what I'm saying? Like helping people doing, you know, fixing their credit. I want to give out a shout out to my boy Max too, you know what I'm saying? Anybody looking to get the credit fixed, my boy could hook you up, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So yeah.
I'm gonna need that number.
Yeah, bro, my boy, he be out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he's doing good work, you know what I'm saying? Mainly like I'm thinking Biden, you they don't really know these things, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't
Yeah,
really actually understand the power of credit.
yeah,
Some of them don't even know actually how to get started. My boy does that work, you know, help you like get going and things like that. So I would say like you wanna invest in is service business, you know what I'm saying? Service business sounds like I'm in the service business, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people tell me like, yeah, what do you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm in the service business, you know what I'm saying? Like I sell
yeah.
a service. Service business, yo, they have low, you know, overhead costs are very low and then the profit is really, you know, it's very big, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm for example, accounting, you only pay like, you know, you only pay for softwares, you know, pretty much. And then, you know, and then like certain
Sure.
things like Adobe, obviously you're gonna need those. And then other than that, the only thing you pay for is like your licenses and your software. That's about it. If you could start a service business, you know, whether it could be like, you know, aider mon immigration, fil papier, ceci, cela, by ça, oh, those are good services business you could start, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have the skills, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta learn the skills and everything to actually do those things. So if you can invest in yourself, you know, learning the skills itself, go for it.
What do you think? One of the good questions I could ask.
One thing I would say that we could touch base on is growing up in the Haitian household, you know, we were taught to actually go to school, get a good degree, be a doctor, be a lawyer, you know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep,
Later on, get married and have a family, get a job, work for
yeah,
the, you know, for the government, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel like, you know, our parents didn't really teach us like, you know, financial freedom and things like that. We didn't really know anything about money. Investing while you're working. You can invest, you don't need a lot of money. Pas besoin plus pour investir dans le market là. Tax lending, that's one of the things that people don't put value on. When you think about it, I would say like 60% of Moon Blanc was July. They have financial advisors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
money well spent, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, you know, once you have a financial advisor, it kind of advise you on your financial literacy and things like that, you know what I'm saying? They do the work for you. But Haitian, we don't really have an outlet like that, you know what I'm saying? Qui peut ba moun yo éducation ça, qui peut dire moun yo if you deferred your income into a 401k while you're working, whether it's like 5% or whatever it is, whatever you can afford, that money is literally gonna reduce your taxable income. We have that mindset is like, yo, once tax season comes, people think it's like it's a refund time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
always that way. You know what I'm saying? T'as conseillé tout moun mwen yo, tout Haitian yo, like, on dit que, si on pense, on dit que once tax season hit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's time to ball.
yeah, we have the mindset where we think like once the tax season hit, like, you know, it's like we can call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
if you don't overpay in taxes, you're not gonna get a refund. That's the thing people don't understand. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Another way is like, yo, invest in 401k. That's one of the things like that right there. You could invest up to 20, you know, 20 something $1,000 in a year.
Put me back on a like 401k. So I see that thing every time I start a job. Oh yeah, we give 401k package and stuff like
Yep.
that. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire vraiment?
401k lui-même, it's one of the best packages out there, like, qui, son plan qui aide à préparer futur, on dit que lo retired was July, lo retired because Social Security, you don't really know it's, si la
Yeah.
plat, like when you turn 59 or 60 something years old or things like that. For one, Kelly, man, it's kind of like give you that security, that money is yours because not money, it's money that you put in and you're able to actually defer that income and then not getting taxed on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Does it depend on the market or does it depend on anything? In what circumstances do you think it would be a bad investment? Let's say you get into a war or something, right? And the economy crashes. Does that affect your 401k or no?
yeah, it does because 401k what it is pretty much yeah. I mean, if I'm monthly on somebody a lot, like I want to give you like you gotta understand what kind of 401k you have though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's multiple type of 401k. This 401k you could actually invest. You could do that yourself, which is like a traditional IA account. You could go to Fidelity,
Okay.
Schwab.
Okay.
You could open that yourself. It doesn't have to be with an
Employee.
employer and things like
Okay.
that. But when you have a 401k B or A, which is with the employer, it's money that what I'm saying. Usually those come with match. Like if you put in 3%,
Oh, okay. Okay.
the
Okay.
employer would match that. You know what I'm saying? That's technically free money. So if you defer, like let's say if you put in 3% of your wages or your salary into your
Yeah.
401k every week, your employer is gonna match that. So technically you get like an extra 3% for free.
For free. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
then that actually plan is administered by the whoever like oversees the plan, whatever they use, Fidelity, whatever institution they use. Yeah, and then they just invest the money for you. You could choose to be aggressive or not to be aggressive. If you're someone who like to play it safe, tell them like, you know what, I don't want to be too aggressive in the market. If you're someone who's really scared, you don't want to lose money.
Yeah.
But usually like, that usually pays out really good. A lot of this money they invest them in the SP 500, which sometimes goes to like 10% in a year. Think about it. Like that's good money, man. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, you take 40. Let's say, for instance, you have if you have like I don't know how much the bank gives you. They don't give you
That's like
shit.
1% or
They don't give you
something or
nothing.
less.
If you got $1,000, you get like 1 cent back.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, you could.
Yeah.
401k is a good way because think about it too, because that money you put it in, it actually reduce your taxable income. You could do up to 20. I forgot the numbers on top of my head, but I think it's around 24,000 for 2024. So let's say if you someone who makes you on salary, you're making $100,000, and then you could afford to defer $20,000 into a 401k, you're only gonna get taxed on 70 something. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
rather than getting taxed on $100,000 you get as a salary and then you defer that money, you're only gonna get taxed on that 100 minus 20 something, so which is like 70.
Because they took the money pre-tax.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's Roth IRA and
Oh,
there's
okay.
regular 401k, which is like a regular 401k is pre-tax, so that's money that you pay on gross income. You
On
know what I'm
gross
saying?
income. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not money, it's gonna get taxable at the end when we draw the money. Roth IRA is
Yeah.
already taxed, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if you take the money out, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna get taxed,
Get tax after.
federal and state tax and things like that. The only thing you probably get taxed on is sous retirer l'argent, on dit que avant l'air, on dit if you like, before 59 and a half or whatever the age is, you get like a 10% penalty. That's about it.
That's good to know because I think I heard stories where I invest in a Roth IRA and then my money never grew because the money was not invested in the market, something like that. I don't know if
Well,
I'm.
it depends on the employer, how they invest the money. One thing you got to notice too is, you invest the money, but the job that you work for, they take that money and then they give it to like, let's say, I don't know if they use John Hancock, what I'm saying, as an institution, they give it to the, one of those, brokerage company or like those company, they're the one who's going to invest the money for you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If the plan is not, it's not doing as good, you can always take the money out too and then roll it over to like,
A different one.
yeah, a different one. Like I said,
brokerage.
like one thing you could do is you don't have to stay with the company plan. You could do your own, which is like a traditional IA, you know what I'm saying? You could take the money and move it there and then, invest the money yourself, you know what I'm saying? If you're someone who's really good at studying the market, which I don't advise on people to doing, but it's up to you.
You would encourage the Haitian community to be more literate about their financial situations and how
Yes.
they can ultimately make more money and secure their future.
Yep. And then one of the way you could do that, I would say you got to have a system. You know what I'm saying? Like even the government doesn't work without a system. You got to have a system. That system has to have three things. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say, the first thing is you got to budget. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing is how you actually manage your money. Deuxième bail, encore ma business, tax planning. Tax planning, on dit que c'est un bagay qui permet to on dit que look at your financial before the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Analyze yourself, where you at, you know, how you could save money on taxes, you know, whether it could like, oh, let's say if you're in a 20, 25, 30% tax bracket. On l'autre bagay nou pa vreman gade is tax bracket, because sa nou pense nan tête nou on dit que, yo, I want to work the overtime, I want to do this, you know what I'm saying? But yes, you doing all that, but at the same time, ou pa paye assez tax ou supposé payer, and then nan fe ane a ou dwe, et puis tout kop son fe a, you didn't really save money for taxes. The feds, the way they operate is, you owe money today, right? Let's say if you file your taxes, you owe the money today. They want the money now. So someone ki va gen kop sa chita la, now you're gonna have to swing to pay it or make a payment plan at a high interest rate. Tax lending is good, very good, because you have time. Like after December, I think they give you up to like another month and a half to actually put some money into your 401k, which that money could actually if you put it in the traditional, if you put like $7,000 or whatever it is, that actually reduce your taxable income by $7,000. Right there, you save $7,000. Tax plan only man is like permet to reduce tax bracket too. So let's say if you're someone who's in 30% tax bracket, you want to be in the 12%. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in the 12%. You don't have to pay too much money, too much taxes, on your income, and then tax planning only permet to analyze and do a few things you could do to minimize that. Okay. Yeah. And then lastly, I would say it is you gotta invest in life insurance, man.
Okay.
Life insurance, man, because that's one thing that people don't put value in, because you could literally have a life policy for like less than $30 a month. One of the way that helps you, I mean, you as the owner of the policy, really, you kind of set up your future kids, your future child, you know what I'm saying, like for a better life. So, se son moun an di ke, se son Haitien ou nan 40 nou, ou nan 50 nou, on ba ou ka invest, it's like life policy, you get a life policy on yourself for 25 years, you know what I'm saying, whatever that is, whether you pay $50 a month, même so pa pay, I mean, you could get a policy for like, I'll pay your family $500,000 if you pass away. So movie was on July, $600 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Alvin Simonu, so they good. That's how a lot of, like I would say, like a lot of people who's actually educated on financial freedom, they do is like, what, like I'm at a certain age, I want to set my kids, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to pay for college, they don't have to do any of that. Même si poko pay $600 on policy, if you have a life policy and you pass away, they're literally gonna pay the whole amount to your family. Imagine like you pass away out of nowhere.
Do they tax it?
Yes, in some instances, yeah, they do. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Okay. The service that you actually provide, in what way do you think it would be beneficial for the listeners, and how they can get in contact and
So yeah, you could follow my bookkeeping page. Reliance Accounting. Not really big on social media like that, but yeah, my Gmail is on there. I think it's on my personal page and things like that. And then yeah, Reliance Accounting is one way to contact me. I'm not hard to find, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
do you have a website? Or
I don't have a website.
like a social media account?
I do have a social media account.
Which one? Which is it?
Reliance Accounting. Yeah, I do have
on Instagram, or
contact me directly on Instagram via CD Laurent 94. Follow me, hit me up, let me know, and then whatever I can help.
I learned something, and I'm sure everybody listening and watching going to learn something for sure. You know what I mean?
Another thing I want to say too is this is like free game for y'all. They start the LLC, they start the business, which is a good thing, but they don't really actually understand like the repercussion that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like there's obligation that comes with having the business, and not just like operating the business. You got to pay your taxes too. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know that you gotta pay self-employment tax, you know what I'm saying? Because you're self-employed. And then self-employment tax, lo travail pour un moun, you pay a portion, et puis moun nou travail pour lui payer l'autre portion. When you're self-employed, you pay 15%. People don't understand that, and then they don't really meet those requirements. At the end of the year, they owe money and taxes and things like that. And then the other thing too, I would say, go nouveau buy. So if you have an LLC out there, you have an LLC, you can't just have the LLC not operating. So if I think operate LLC, there's nothing going on, just close it out. There's no activity going on. There's no reason for you to keep it open, because now you have an obligation to actually file your taxes, you know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I'm saying? So people don't know, they don't understand that. And then nouveau bagay IS la vini ansama anvel to crack down on people who's laundering money and things like that, doing illegal activities, which is like a BOI qui c'est on beneficiary owner's information. Kote yo bezwen informasyon tout moun ki on business lan supposé voye la le. If you don't send that in, you could get penalized at $591 per day. Keep that in mind. That's something that's really they cracking down on, you know what I'm saying? So that's just free game for y'all. So whoever owns an LLC out there, make sure that you follow your guidelines.
I heard that if you have an LLC and then you want to buy a car on your business name, and the car has to be certain weight.
First thing first is understanding any ordinary and necessary expenses can be deductible as a business. You know what I'm saying? Like I said.
Oh, okay, okay.
So let's say using your phone, you could deduct whatever phone bill you paid. You know what I'm saying? Whether you could deduct that. Same thing with a car. One thing you could do is if you use your car for business. Let's say you traveling. I'm in the service business. My car is an expense for me. I'm able to actually depreciate my car. All those other expenses, like what I'm saying, because I go see clients or I go to a meeting, with a client or things like that. Or someone qui fait Uber or Nalaria, you can literally depreciate your car. You have a business, you buy a car for the business itself. You could literally like Section 179 it, which allows you to deduct like the whole amount within the first year, what I'm saying, and things like that. The expense has to be ordinary or necessary. That's something that you actually need to operate your business. You don't just go buy a G-Wagon just because you want to buy a G-Wagon. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say you mainly in the online business, you know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna buy a car under the business name and I'm gonna deduct it. Now, that's not a ordinary or necessary business, you know what I'm saying? I mean expense, because the IRS is looking at you sideways, like, okay, you're in the online business, but you bought a car, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you get audited. You know what I'm saying? So
there you go. If you want to buy a new BMW, you gotta have a LLC.
it has to be something that that is ordinary or necessary. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you gotta think about. You know what I'm saying? If it's not needed, I wouldn't advise you to deduct it, because now you put yourself in getting audited and things like that, which could be a lot of money.
Thank you very much for coming out. If you need any financial advice and what your next move needs to be financially, this is your guy right here.
Hit me up too. I could put you on with the right people. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have connect.
As always, subscribe and support us however you can, and we'll see you next time.
Appreciate it, guys. Peace.